Hi, I'm going to talk to you today about the Toro 60 volt cordless snowblower. Why did I get one? Well, I like the idea of not having to mess with a gas engine anymore. I used to have a two-stage gas snowblower, electric start, so that's cool. At least it had electric start. But I don't really like maintaining gas engines. Electric start help on the snowblower. Some other ones that I've had, didn't, and that was always kind of a pain. But I didn't really like having to go out and get gas all the time. This eliminates all of those problems. So let's talk a minute about assembly. I already have it out of the box, but let me go through what I had to do to get it set up. First of all, it comes in a box not much bigger than the lower part of the unit here, about as high as this chute. No tools are required to get it assembled. So all you have to do is loosen these two hand knobs and fold it back over and tighten it back down. There's also a couple knobs here at the bottom that you have to take all the way out and line them up with the holes and put them back in. Easy peasy. There is a small piece, a chute diverter, that's on the top of the chute. This should have been easy. It just snaps on both sides. It looks like this hole you just fit over each one of the little nubs that stick out. But there's a little piece here, kind of an arc piece that has to also snap into a little plastic clip. That was not so easy to get in, and you kind of feel like you're going to break it a little bit. But let me show a close-up of that, and really the part to pay attention to is this little clip here. And also, if it takes a little bit of effort and coordination, don't feel alone. It was a bit of a pain to get on. The last thing is this rod that changes the position of the chute, and that's super easy. When it comes to you, this rod is separate. You stick it through this hole here, and just push it back in, and that's all you have to do. Now you're going to have to charge up the battery. It comes with a battery. I got the kit that comes with the 7.5 amp hour battery. You have to get that charged up ahead of time. Mine came with about 2 bars and took a couple hours to charge up. Okay, to charge the battery, just take a look at the battery. There's one side of it here that has the slides on it, and those align with the slides here on the charging unit. So just take those, align those, and slide it down onto the charger. There's no clip. You'll definitely feel it engage when it gets to the bottom, but there's no clip like it is when you put it into the snowblower. To take it out, there is no clip, so don't look for one. All you do is take this, and you might have to hold this part down, lift it straight up, and you're done. Look, I don't know if 7.5 amp hours will be enough to do every snowfall that I have. Maybe I'm going to find I'm going to run out. One of the things I'm considering is that they also have more tools in the 60 volt line. The rest of them are summer tools, so they have a string trimmer, they have a leaf blower, and they also have a push or self-propelled mower that's also electric. The mower I don't really have a need for. I already have a mower. Actually, I'll show you guys that in a future video. But the string trimmer, I could use a string trimmer and a leaf blower, maybe not as much. I already have one, but I might check it out. Those tools, you can get a kit that comes with a 2.5 amp hour battery. Added to the 7.5 amp hour, that's a little bit extra, and for a tool that I'd want to use anyways. And I think for those other tools, I'm not sure yet, but I might want to have a lighter battery on those anyways. Let me show you the auger portion here. So if you look in here, there's a Toro designed auger. It's all metal. The sides of this are metal. If you look down here, there is a plastic scraper. That scraper is replaceable. And if you look around on the side, there's a plastic shoe that goes along with the scraper that's on the side. So if you come around here, there is a battery compartment. Take the battery, and there's a battery slot right here, and that goes inside there on the slot. And there's a click when you get it in there. Now that we have the battery installed, if you come around here, there is a lever that has to be held down and the lights will turn on. Well, let me back up a step. Before you do that, there's a key here that's removable, and you plug that back in. That's so that children can't come in here and get at the snowblower. I don't think it's too much of an issue because your battery has to be plugged in for it to operate anyways, but it's up to you. So there's also a button here. This turns on eco mode. It's on or off. If it's eco is off, then it's on full. All right, so pull the lever and just push the button to start it. Let go of the lever and it stops. Now let me give you a little bit of an idea of the sound difference, because when I turn on eco mode, that changes the speed of the auger. So I'm going to start it back up again, and I'll switch back and forth between eco and regular mode. You can see here that it has lights that are built in. Those lights are actually very handy. As you know, during the winter, the days are a bit shorter, and by the time you get home from work and start to blow off your driveway from a storm, often it's dusk or dark out, and so those lights come in very handy. So let me talk to you a little bit about the auger. As I mentioned before when I was talking about assembly, and if you're tall enough, probably majority of people are going to be, you can just kind of lean over here a little bit and move it left, right, or center. If you're a shorter person, it may be a little tough and you might have to walk around to the side to maneuver that. Besides rotating it left, right, and center, there's also a chute deflector on the top here, and that can kind of point it up or kind of either up or to the side. And the difference is if you point it more up, it's going to shoot farther because it's kind of unobstructed and has a good angle to it. But if you have a very powdery snow, then it's going to blow way up into the air, and if you got a little bit of wind, that's going to could blow back in your face. So if you get that kind of situation, then you want to point this down, and that'll help the snow blowing back in your face. One of the things that I wanted to show you was storage of this unit. So normally when I have it in my garage, I would put it over here in this corner. And as you can see, that handle sticks way out there. The extra nice thing about it being a all-electric snowblower is the fact that you don't have to really worry about which way you tip it up. So not only can you kind of fold this handle back down and store it in some corner of your garage, or maybe even up on a shelf if it's heavy duty. Although this doesn't weigh that much, I don't know, I'm going to guess maybe 40 pounds. But even when it's not in storage, I can kind of get this out of my way so it's a little bit easier to get the car in. So all I do is kind of take it like this, and I just tip it up. Now that handle's not sticking way out here. I want to show you a little clip from the latest snowstorm that I used it on. First of all, you can see me going through, it was a wet, heavy packing snow. You can see where I tried to use my push shovel, and I could only get a few feet, and it would kind of pile up straight in the air and make it very difficult to push anymore. So I broke out the snowblower. As you can see, it went through it fine. So this is the second snowstorm that I've used the snowblower on. The first one was kind of a crazy snow. It kind of went down as ice, and then some powdery snow, and then some more ice. It was a little bit thicker than this snow, a little bit deeper, I should say. but it was a little bit more powdery, although it had some ice mixed in. This one here, that snow I think was maybe I don't know, I'm gonna say 5 inches. This snow is more like 3 inches, but this is a really heavy wet snow. It has no problem pushing this snow around. It's a little bit hard to see, but if you look closely, there's you can see it throwing the snow pretty far. It's got to be, I'd say, 10 feet. You can see here that in this wet snow that it very easily gets down to the pavement. With that ice snow that I did previously, it did get down to the pavement, but it wasn't quite this clean. Now, one of the things that you want to do, if you haven't used a snowblower a lot before, and I have to admit that I wasn't always the smoothest at this, but you want to find a good pattern, efficient pattern for going through your driveway. As you can see here, one of the most efficient patterns, and it probably varies a little bit depending on if you have some wind problems or not, but is to kind of start in the middle and blow it out towards the edge of your driveway. That way you never have to change the direction of your chute, and you can just keep on going pretty easily. You may notice that towards the bottom of my driveway there, or towards the top of the driveway closest here, that it kind of gets stuck. I have a portion of my driveway that's kind of sunken down a bit, so there's a pretty substantial lip there, and any of the other cracks, this didn't get stuck on at all, but that crack there, it can get stuck on a little bit. Now, one thing I don't have an example of here is the normal mode versus eco mode. If I'm not mistaken, I think I had this on normal mode the whole time. Now, unfortunately, you're going to see how far it throws snow here because I wasn't paying attention. And I get my lovely wife who is helping me. And I'm about to get yelled at. She very graciously had a good sense of humor about this. She did not like it that I blew snow on her sidewalk that she just shoveled. Yes, you need to find efficient patterns here so you're not blowing snow on parts that are already cleaned. So I, finish up the driveway here. I have a corner lot, and so I have, and we have sidewalks in our neighborhood, so I have 2 pretty long sides of sidewalks. And I finished this all up. I think I had 1 or 2 bars left. I know on one of them I had 2 bars left, and one of them I had 1 bar left. I think actually on this one I had 2 bars left. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but you could probably park 8 cars, 3 across for 2 columns there, and then another 2 across. But this was so easy to push. It was really a dream. Now I'm sure that if I got a really heavy, substantial snow, that there's a limit for how much this machine can handle. But I guess that it's probably a pretty good sized snow that it can handle. The front of it is 12 inches, so depending on how wet or powdery it is, I'm sure that it can handle 12 inches. Whether the battery would get through, get through it, if it was 12 inches of snow, maybe the battery wouldn't get through it. As I talked about earlier, if you had another tool from their 60-volt line, might come in handy to have a little bit extra battery. I think they do sell a model as well. Obviously a little bit more expensive, but they do sell one kit with two 6 amp hour batteries instead of one 7.5. So there's probably some cases where, depending on how much you have to do, and hey, if this video helped you out, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit like and subscribe to the channel. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If there's anything you'd like to see different in this video or in future videos, please give me some comments and we'll do better next time.